I think of when I became Canada's defense minister in 1993, and I had been a Soviet specialist, and my first meeting at NATO was with the North Atlantic Cooperation Council, which included all of the ministers of defense of the former Warsaw Pact countries. And that was a very surreal experience for me, looking across at Pavel Grachev from Russia and sitting next to the Czech defense minister. But many things have changed, and I remember at that time saying that it was highly premature to beat our swords into plowshares, and that I felt at that time that Canada needed a strong and effective conventional warfare capability, even though that the danger of a nuclear holocaust seemed to have receded. But I think we have to, in looking at risks to security, potentials for conflict, we have to recognize that climate change may present us with a whole range of new factors to consider. For example, there's very interesting research on the impacts of migration, and in the paper that's in your materials, it's actually a kind of an optimistic view that in fact in most cases migration patterns tend to be cyclical. People leave for a period of time, then they come back. Even people who leave their countries or their regions as a result of serious weather or climatic events, volcanoes, tsunamis, etc., they often very much want to go back to where they came from. They are not looking to settle elsewhere. And even when it may not be safe for them to go home, people want to go back to their homes to secure their land rights, etc. But the interesting thing about climate change is that we are looking at changes that may in fact not be cyclical, that may be of long duration, and we need to look at how people will behave under those circumstances when there in fact is not an all clear sign that they can return to their homes and try to rebuild their lives, even knowing that over a period of years these disasters may strike them again. So there are a lot of very interesting observations about disputes over resources as a basis for conflict. One paper I read said that in fact the last time that a country actually went to war over water was in 5000 BC when the Assyrians apparently did this. But I think that again, we have to look at what the implications are in a different, more highly populated world, given the longer duration of the kinds of struggles that we're going to encounter. But I think on the other hand, the observation of scholars has been that, in fact, needing to cooperate over scarce resources such as water has very often been a vehicle for reinforcing collaboration and peaceful cooperation. So in fact, dealing with the challenges presented by climate change could in fact, under the right circumstances, be a vehicle for greater cooperation, a greater sense of a shared fate that we have in the world.